Well, here we are again in our Radio Entrepreneurs studios. Think of it over 8 years. And if you count all four radio shows that have been through our career, it's been over 25 years, probably over 10,000 interviews over my lifetime. And I love entrepreneurs and I love people who are helping entrepreneurs. So our next guest, not new to the organization, but new to this person, Jennifer Christian, Program Manager, Entrepreneurship for All, my favorite place on Cape Cod. Welcome.
Nice. Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here today.
Great. I always get excited when there's people on the Cape promoting entrepreneurship. So why don't you tell us about Entrepreneurship for All?
Sure. So we are a local nonprofit and we offer a business accelerator course twice a year. The course goes for 12 weeks. And during that time, a group of 15 entrepreneurs is matched with 3 mentors who act as their cheering squad and encourage them along the way, wipe their tears as they need, because this can be a brutal business, being in entrepreneurship. And then the 12 weeks of classes, we meet twice a week and we cover everything from the legalities of business to accounting to finances to social media to marketing, and everything in between. And we do this twice a year, and we do it in the fall and we do it in the spring, and it is completely free to the entrepreneur.
Well, and Cape Cod really is almost an incubator for small businesses, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep, it definitely is. We have, like I said, 15 spots for each cohort, and most seasons we get on average anywhere between 30 and 45 applications that we then have narrowed down by our volunteer readers and our volunteer interviewers. And then we somehow manage to land on a amazing little cohort of 15.
Very nice. So can you, I always like to call it the Wayback Machine from one of my childhood cartoons. Can you give us the evolution of the creation of Entrepreneurship for All?
Ooh, all right. So I can give like the cliff notes. We got
I'll
to get
take that.
Kristen. Yeah, we got to get Kristen on the show. She is our executive director and she has been here since the beginning. But EforAll started as the Merrimack Valley Sandbox, doing very similar to what we do now. And it has since grown. There are multiple sites in Massachusetts. We have a site in Maine, a site in Rhode Island, a site in South Carolina, a site in Arkansas, and virtual programming in Texas and Colorado. So we are nationwide and we are expanding. And we are just driven by the mission of launching entrepreneurs into the best that they can be.
Well, that's really quite wonderful. And what's your background?
So I have done it all. I feel like my first and foremost job is I'm a mom. I've got 3 kids of my own, 16, 10, and 6.
That's a
So they're pretty,
startup.
yeah, that's a team all on its own. And my latest and greatest venture that actually EforAll helped me launch is I run a nonprofit called Car Seat Mama Inc. And we educate caregivers on proper car seat safety and general car safety, for prenatal to teenagers. So
These car seats are complicated. I'm just going to personalize it a little bit. I'm a grandparent, and
yeah,
I bought the state-of-the-art car seat,
yeah,
and no one in my family could figure out how to put it in the car. And
yep,
the Hyannis police assign an officer to do that. And
yes, yeah.
and I was lucky because even as she explained it to me, she was over my head.
Yep. Barnstable Police Department is such a great asset. They have so many technicians on hand. They are really great over
It's a
there.
it's a
So
nice infrastructure. So
yeah.
Tell me about the future of entrepreneurship for all. Where are you going, and what should we see in the future?
Sure. So continuing to see kind of the same. We, you know, hold our cohorts, our business accelerators twice a year. And it's really great because each cohort brings us 15 new entrepreneurs, and with these come, you might get a candle maker, you might get somebody who does yoga, but then you get the niche people like myself who does car seats. Like, what is that? We just had somebody who fixes Apple product. Very niche. We have people who work in blue economy, artists. So it's really nice, you get some of these repeat entrepreneurs, but each and every entrepreneur, whether they did something that the last cohort did or they do something completely different, the entrepreneur is different every time, and the melding of the class is different every time. And so watching those cohorts build their little community is really something special. And the other thing that I haven't touched on yet is that we also do pitch contests. So we do these twice a year as well, usually in the spring and the fall, or the fall and the winter. And with these pitch contests, we call it Shark Tank without teeth, because yes, you're in front of a panel of judges, but everyone here is gentle and they want the best for you. So they're going to give you creative criticism. They're going to applaud your successes. But our pitch contests are something that's truly an amazing night to come out and see, whether you're an entrepreneur who wants to pitch a business or you're just a member of the community who wants to watch a pitch contest go down. They really are a fun event.
Oh, that's all sounds very exciting. Just
Yeah.
to remind everybody, we're speaking with Jennifer Christian, Program Manager, Entrepreneurship for All Cape Cod. So when you say Cape Cod, does it go off? Do you go off Cape? What's your geography?
We do. We go a little bit off Cape. So we have had people from Plymouth and Middleborough. And I want to say that probably Plymouth County is probably as far as we go, because we do have a South Coast site. We have a Lynn site. We have a Roxbury site. I think we have a Lowell site.
Well, Plymouth really,
so Plymouth.
but where I've heard statistics about the majority of people who work on the Cape drive over the bridge every day to get to the Cape. So if you're opened up to the Plymouth County area, I think that's very smart, because we're all sort of one giant region.
Yes. Yep. And that's, so the majority of our classes are held online. But there is the commitment to a few of our classes are in person. And so when we're interviewing somebody, say from Middleborough, we say, are you able to join us in Hyannis 4 nights out of these 12 weeks? So just making sure that but I will say on the flip side, we then have people who come from P-Town, which, P-Town to Hyannis is actually further than Plymouth to Hyannis. So, Cape Cod is a weird little geography, right? Like, we look like this little nugget on the map, but if you lay it out in a straight line, yeah, exactly. So, to the best of my knowledge, we have not had anyone from the islands. That's another follow-up question for Kristen. We would not discourage someone on the islands. Again, there would just be that, would you be able to participate in the in-person classes?
Well, all very interesting. And I think that you're part of keeping this wonderful environment alive, because you need business to keep things alive. And it's not just about tourists, especially since COVID. I would say from Mid-Cape on, it's become a 12-season community to
Absolutely.
live. Right. So Jennifer, if somebody wants to, I'm going to broaden it, contact you, contact Entrepreneurship for All, or maybe even contact you about these baby seats, how would they find
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, so absolutely. So best way to reach the CAPE site is to email cape@eforall.org. That email will come to me, it will come to our executive director, and it will go to our program coordinator, Taiki. So all three of us will get that message. So you're guaranteed to get a response from one of us. If you're interested in signing up for the fall cohort, eforall.org, and then you click on Communities, Massachusetts, Cape Cod, and the link to apply is right there. If you have car seat questions, I am carseatmama.org. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and all you got to do is go on the website and schedule a safety seat session, and I will come to you. And the cost is completely free because we are now nonprofit.
I might have to use your services. I was just
Yeah,
thinking the other day, I can't take the car seat out because I won't be able to get it back in.
I'll teach you the ins and outs.
I got you. Carseatmama.com.
Yes, and I will say it's MOMMA, just to
Well,
make
that
things a little bit confusing.
well, I really appreciate having you on for my own selfish reasons, Jennifer.
Yes.
And I want to remind our listeners there are no boundaries to us discussing entrepreneurship on Radio Entrepreneurs. We'll be back after this break with more stories.